Hi, everyone. Today I am joined by Steve to start our reading sprints for the book of the month, which is The Mirror's Truth by Michael R. Fletcher. Last month we read the first book, which is Beyond Redemption, and we liked it quite a bit. We had a spoiler-filled discussion with the author, and that is on Steve's channel. I haven't linked it yet, but I have linked Steve's channel. So if you want to go and look, you can find it there. And this month we're going to do the same thing, but then on my channel. So if you read the book with us, then that's going to happen, I think, in 2 weeks, something like that.
22nd.
Yeah, okay. So need to put that in my schedule. Of course, if anyone is watching and you want to read a different book, we are not the reading police. So just join us and read a book of your choosing. And let us know in the chat which book you are reading. So Steve, you also liked the first one quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I liked it quite a bit. It was very, very different. I wasn't sure what to expect just because I had heard so much about it, but I ended up really enjoying it. It was very, very different. It was pretty unexpected.
Yeah, I think for me, at this point, it's the darkest book that I've read. And I just had a very grim feeling. Not just what was happening, but the whole world felt just grim. Yeah. So I liked it, but I'm curious to see what the second one will do. And if it might be too dark for me, but we'll see.
I don't know.
Hi, Amy.
Hey, Amy.
What are you reading? Because I think that Amy was going to pick a different book.
Yeah, it's I'm not sure where the story will go, but I'm excited to start it.
Hi, Brandy. Yeah, Tower Lord. I am liking it quite a bit, but I'm halfway through. So I still have 300 pages to read. I'm going to read a little bit this evening, and then tomorrow I have the entire day free for Tower Lord.
Oh, okay. I just finished it this morning.
Oh, and?
How did you like it? Yeah, it was good. There was a few parts that it was a little slow, but I wasn't sure where they were going. But overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, I love Anthony Ryan's writing, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I can definitely see why people not like it as much as the first one, but for me, the dogs are playing. But I quite enjoy it at this point. They are turning on the TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to watch. Yeah, I think it's when you have a book like Blood Song, the follow-up is going to be tough because it was just so good that the follow-up is you want it to be as good, and it's hard to get to that level. So
yeah,
I was almost expecting a little bit. I mean, I don't want to say let down, but a little bit of a drop, just because it was so good. I don't want to have too high of expectations.
I know that some people told me that they DNF'd it or had a very hard time getting through it before. So my expectations were low, and maybe that's why I'm liking it as much, because I wasn't expecting a lot. But yeah, definitely there's a different tone where you now have multiple POVs. Mm-hmm. But I kind of enjoy it because it's all going towards Valen. So.
And something that we've talked about before is there's different POVs, but there's not too many.
Yeah, you can still realize who everybody is. Plus, there's a lot of tie-in with the first book. Like, if somebody is introduced, he kind of explains to you who he was. For some of them, I had to look it up, but still.
Yeah, thank you for posting that wiki, the Raven Shadow wiki, because I actually had to refresh my memory on a couple of people. So.
Yeah, same. So that really helps. Amy, is that one of Book of the Month with the genre readers thing? I know that Chris over at Chris Bookish Cauldron, and then don't know if it's Jessica. They pick one book per month, and it's always a different genre. So that's interesting. I tried to do it, but I'm very difficult when it comes to non-fantasy books, so I couldn't keep up.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that book somewhere. It sounds really familiar. So.
I haven't heard of it. I need to maybe look it up. Yeah, it's definitely slower than Blood Song. It took me a while to realize what was happening. Like, halfway through, I'm like, oh, okay, this is where the story is going. But I'm pretty slow with those kinds of things.
Yeah, me too.
Hi, Epic.
Epic.
Are you also reading? Joining the sprints?
I thought he was going to try and make the meetup for Mirror's Truth, but see. Oh, I'm trying to finish.
Oh,
yeah.
Same boat.
Yeah.
Okay, different one.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
haven't heard of before. But Amy
Yeah,
had it on the TBR since 2017, so it's a good thing that she's getting to it now.
that's tough. Yeah. TBRs are tough. You have books on there for years to try and get to.
Yeah. Well, I just started, I think, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, to really buy books because I had a job, so I actually had money to buy books. But I just was counting all of the books that I still need to read, and it's 140 at this point. So I'm not allowed to buy anymore.
Yeah, I'm afraid to count. So,
You're protecting yourself.
yeah, I don't want that kind of disappointment. So, yeah, it's quite a bit. I just ordered a few more for the short story stuff I'm doing in September, so that was my excuse.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, but it seems like a lot of work. I know that Epic is doing it now as well with one video per day. Sounds really tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and start here in the next week, just to get ahead of it.
You can do it like really batch film.
Yeah, it'll have to be batch. I'm trying to do at least 20 before September 1st, but they're short stories, so it won't be too bad.
Sorry, Amy. Oh, that sounds interesting. I like unique books, so just even if it's a different genre, if it does something interesting. Crossings. I'm just going to, so that I don't forget.
Crossing, yeah. When I saw the cover, it didn't look familiar, but I've heard that title somewhere.
Callum. He wants to play, but I'm not available right now.
Yeah, poor thing. A novel in 3 parts designed to read in 2 different directions, spanning 150 years and 7 lifetimes. Wow, that sounds really cool. Historical fiction, fantasy, romance, science fiction.
Ooh, that's something that I would enjoy, maybe, historical fiction.
Yeah. We'll have to put that on the book of the month for next year. If we don't squeeze it in this year. How many pages? See how this gets how this starts. Interesting.
Thanks, Brandy, but 2 videos a week for me is already like pushing it. So if one day I can batch film, we'll see.
Yeah, batch filming is the only way I can keep up with that.
Did you actually? Yeah. No, go ahead, Steve.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was wondering if you actually already started The Mirror's Truth.
No, I was trying to finish Tower Lord first, because especially with fantasy books, so if I start more than one at a time, I already get things confused. So if I start more than one at a time, then the names really bleed together. And so I was trying to finish Tower Lord, and then today was my Mirror's Truth. And and then I have 2 other ones to start this week too. But
you are on a busy schedule as well.
Yeah, I need after this month, things will really calm down. So I just have to hang in there for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think you're even busier than me. I have like 5 or 6 books, and it's pushing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because yesterday,
no,
how many do you have this month?
Let's see, we have Mirror's Truth, Gunslinger. I have what's the other novella I have? Crossings, or I forget what it's called. What else? Oh, River of Thieves, Tower Lord, Wrath. What else? There's one more. I forget.
Kings of Paradise, but you already read that one, so
yeah, that'll be reread for me. So that won't be too bad.
Ooh, that's good. Gaining 34 subs. Nice.
Nice, very nice. Well deserved too. Epic. You could tell he spends a lot of time on his editing.
That's like
top notch. Yeah. I'm sorry, Yelena, I interrupted you. What were you going to say about your month?
To be honest, with the dogs, I don't really know what I was going to say. I think yesterday, Stacy started Monica. Stacy started Kings of Paradise together with Ashley and Brandy, but I just had to cancel because I'm now in 2 fantasy books. If that one was coming as well, 3 is a little bit too much, and then I have 1 on audio as well. So,
What are you listening on audio?
it's The Forgotten Kingdom by Signy Pike. I don't think it's something that you will enjoy. It's a little bit like Juliette Marillier, so historical fantasy, but with a lot of nature, magic, and stuff like that. It's actually it's about the sister of the person on whom Merlin is based upon,
Oh, okay.
but then with magic as well. I enjoyed quite a bit. There's also a romance, so maybe that Brandy would enjoy it.
That helps too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gunslinger. Yeah, Gunslinger. The novella. Let me look on the calendar. Well, I read The Burning God. Oh yeah, that's right. The Burning God, Mirror's Truth. River of Thieves. Oh, Crossroads. Sorry, by Laurel Hightower. And Mirror's Truth, The Gunslinger, Wrath, and Kings of Paradise. So not too bad. Kings of Paradise is a reread, so like you said, it won't be too bad.
It's still 10 books, but
Is it 10? Is that 10?
maybe even more. I lost count, but it sounds like a big list.
Yeah, it's a big one. This is probably one of the worst months. Hey, Ashley.
You are reading Kings of Paradise, I suppose? Oh my god. He's the annoying one. I have like one very calmly playing with me. He's being a good boy, but then you have the other one. Very jealous as well.
Yeah, they're funny. Really beautiful dogs, though.
Thanks. Ooh, that's good progress.
Mm-hmm. How are you liking it, Ashley?
I also finished The Burning God, by the way.
Oh, I'm going to talk to you about that.
I actually really enjoyed it. It's the first half I found a little bit weak. It was too military fantasy for me, where I didn't really know where it was going and if we needed all of that information. But then the second half, I actually liked how it ended.
I think that was yeah. You were a fan of the ending?
Yeah. Because I already was spoiled for the ending, like the small part, but everything that led to it, I actually liked that evolution. Ooh, politics. That sounds good.
I'm afraid to say anything about Kings of Paradise. I don't want to
spoil anything.
Yeah.
So we maybe start with some sprints.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know how long this normally is, but I would say maybe half an hour, and we'll see.
Okay. You want to start with the first one for how long?
Wait, I'm going to put up a banner and see if that works. So with this work, that's half an hour, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
I can also send you that file that Stacy sent to me if you want to use that one. It's like a little, and you just share your screen, and then it's a countdown. You just type in the number of minutes, and then you can share your screen. So I'll send that to you here.
Thanks.
Because I found it to be really handy. So.
Yeah, I'm really not technological advanced, so I'll see if it works. I really like these reading sprints because sometimes it's difficult to just sit down and start reading, but once you get into it, it definitely helps.
Yeah, it's nice. Let me just find it.
Yeah, I really think I'm going to like Ash and Sand. I don't know how dark it is, but is it the same level of darkness as Beyond Redemption?
No, I think it's less dark.
Okay, because I think that's like my maximum that I can still like.
That's your max. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's not. I don't think it's as dark as Beyond Redemption, as bleak. Why can't I find this file? Yeah, just give me one. Sorry, just give me 1 sec.
No issue.
Okay. Okay, here we go. I found it.
And it's you're going to send it on the forum?
Yeah, I just sent you a message, and it's you just open it in your browser, and then type in the number of minutes, and then you just share your screen.
Open. Yes. In the same browser that I'm using, right?
You can, yeah. Just a different tab, and then you can share your screen, and it'll just come up on. It'll have a countdown.
So,
Stacy's editor created it.
share screen. So first I need to probably share StreamYard and then just go to that thing.
Yeah, so if you go to share screen, there should be a whichever screen you want to choose if you have more than one, and as long as that's on your screen when you share it, it'll.
No. So now we have this, and then I go to
There you
it.
go. Yeah, and then just type in and just hit begin countdown, and it counts down.
Okay.
There you
Super.
go. Cool. I
Okay.
removed myself in accident.
I added you again.
I was hoping you'd see me over there.
So, how far did you get?
I got to chapter 2, which is page 21.
Yeah, I got to page 26.
Oh, nice.
It took me a little bit to get into it again. Like the first couple of sentences I had to reread because you have all of those terms. And they actually named one of the insane people, but I thought that it was a name that I had to remember. So I think, who was this person? And no, it's somebody new.
Okay.
So that took me a while, but how did you like it?
I missed this world. And
Yeah.
I missed it's just so bonkers that it's fun. But I like that there seems to be a little bit more humor in this one. Like little,
Yeah.
not just really subtle. So it's nice to have that to mix it up.
I actually enjoyed that new character a little bit, and how she was reacting to, I forgot his name again, but Bedekt.
Bedekt, yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy her, and I really liked what happened in the beginning. Yeah, and what the main story is probably going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Nice progress. How far along are you, Brandy? Do you still have to read a lot, or? And everybody else who is need to remove the banner. Everybody else who is reading, of course, also let us know if you made a little bit of progress. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this one as well. It's so unique, the world, and yeah. I thought that it was going to be, again, maybe a little bit too dark, but now that I'm back in it, I remember that it's more bleak. It's not that very, well, dark things are happening, but that's not really my problem. It feels bleak. But then what happened with the world now, it's a little bit lighter in my head. So I'm liking that.
Oh.
Yeah, if I would pick that one up, I would also read it non-conventional. Because you have to read so many books from the beginning to the end that if there's one that you have the other option, I try it like that. It's good to hear that it's intriguing. Part 4. What is that?
I think that's the last part, right? Part 4?
Yeah, I just started part 3. So yeah, part 4, I don't think that you have a lot to read then. So you'll definitely make it by tomorrow.
421, yeah. So I think it's 590 something pages.
Yeah, almost 600. So
yeah,
it's still a chunk, but it's doable.
Yeah, it's not too much. It's not too much of a chunker. It goes pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But with the different POVs, it's sometimes I'm actually liking all of them, which is usually not the case with multiple POVs. But it still takes me a little bit of time to get into it when we switch. So that's why it reads a little bit slower for me.
Yeah. And I like that all the POVs were from the first book. So it wasn't like brand new characters and new things to learn. So
yeah, I think we had like one new one, but she immediately was attached to the main character, so you immediately knew who she was. And I'm actually liking her addition as well.
I liked her more and more as the book went on. So if you like her now, I think you'll like her more when you're finished.
That's promising.
Yeah. It took a little bit of... she kind of reminded me of Rin from
the
Poppy War.
Yeah, she's definitely a very angry character.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. I must say it's not that long of a book either, because in the beginning I was actually very happy that he explained what happened in the last one, because even though that it isn't that long ago that we read it, it's nice to have a little bit of a reminder. So I feel like I now know where everybody is and everything important that happened, like a little bit of a recap. So
Yeah.
I think that he did that pretty well. But also the writing style, it's not difficult to follow,
Yeah.
even with the German terms, because that can be difficult. But now after the first book, you're used to it, so I actually don't mind that.
Can you speak German too, or know a little bit of it?
It's very similar to Dutch, so a lot of people assume that you can speak it, but they have a lot of like Latin that the words change depending on the meaning in the sentence. So I can't do that, and I can probably understand what's being said if it's really slowly, but if they talk very fast, I can understand. But it's one of the official languages in Belgium, so I should. I just, if I meet somebody who speaks French or German in Belgium, I just start speaking English and hope that they understand as well.
Does that usually work?
No,
No.
because I think that the German side and then the French side, they dub a lot of the movies that they watch, while in the Flemish side we have translations. And I feel because of that, a lot of people just know English. It's not what you teach at school, what you learn there. It's more because you watch a lot of television. And if you just dub it, I don't think that it's that helpful. So you can definitely see the difference between the Flemish side, and then the Netherlands also use translations or subtitles.
Oh, interesting.
I think if that wasn't the case, I was probably not able to speak English because I got French 10 years at school, I think, like 5 hours a week. So I should know it, but I can't speak a word French.
Really? Do you speak it very often? Just, or was it just more of just to learn a new language?
Yeah, it was just to learn a new language, and we have to do it at school, so you don't really have a choice. But it's a little bit idiotic how they teach it, because you just get like you have to read it and then you can write it, but they don't teach you to speak it that often. And when you have to write a sentence, you can think about it like for 10 minutes if you want to, but when you speak, it's not that easy.
Oh yeah,
And
that doesn't help.
if you don't try it, it would have been easier if you just have those 5 hours and you have to speak it 5 hours. And then who cares if you can't really write it? I think that speaking is the most important.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Lirna, I don't really know how you pronounce her name, but I like her as well.
Bailey, how's it going? Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but there's some things that go down in that. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but there's cool stuff happens.
I already thought that something really interesting happened at the end of part 2, so I'm at page 300. And so yeah, if more is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm afraid to say when it happens, so, but.
Yeah, that's already a little bit difficult, just to not spoil too much.
Yeah.
I didn't see the spoiler-filled discussion that you did for The Burning God yet, but did you like the ending, or?
I think that's the only way that series could have ended, because during the second discussion, I'm not sure if you saw that one. We at the end we all kind of made predictions on how it would end, and I think we all took a different position. But I think I was, I don't see it ending good for any of these characters, just because it seems like the logical conclusion, just because of the way things were going. So I think we all pretty much agreed things weren't going to end very well. So I kind of had an idea, but because just the way the book was going. But I like that. I like that the author just kind of went for it and did something different and original. So I liked when they don't play it safe.
Yeah, same. It's like the biggest negative that we had to say about The Faithful and the Fallen, even though we haven't finished it yet. But that's one that at this point we're saying it's going to end pretty predictable.
Yeah.
That's completely different for the Poppy War. So
yeah.
I did like that. And I think even if you dislike that ending, you can still see that it's something different and applaud what she was trying to do.
Right. Yeah, I like that she just went for it and told the story she wanted to tell. And I do like the historical fiction that she rolled into the story too. And I wonder how much of the military tactics that they focus a lot on in the second book were actually really real tactics they used, like the pig intestines and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wondered if that was something they really tried in history sometime.
And that would be interesting. I actually didn't look it up because they keep referencing to the thing that happened in the first book as like, well, it's really focused on history and what really happened. But everything else, I would suppose that she really did her research, because I think that she has a master's degree in, well, I think it's language, but I suppose you also get a lot of history.
Yeah. I love her writing style too. I think she does action really well.
Mm-hmm.
The action in the second book, I know some people aren't big fans of action, and I do tend to zone out on some of the fantasy books when it's really heavy action, but I think she did a really good job because I was glued to the page during those action scenes. I think she does a really good job at that.
Yeah, I agree. I actually listen to the audiobooks. So, because normally when there's like a lot of action and I'm reading the physical book, I tend to skim a little bit. But for this one, I couldn't because I was listening to the audiobook and I was actually still very interested.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes her dialogue, again, but I'm very difficult when it comes to dialogue, that maybe wasn't the best ever, especially because when you're listening to the audiobook, it's like, Kitai said, Rin said, Kitai said, Rin said. And I found that a little bit repetitive. But at the other hand, I don't know if that was maybe intentional. But I liked it quite a bit. The second book was maybe my least favorite of the three. I thought it was going to be 1, 2, 3, but I think it's 1, 3, 2 at this point. I really like the school-like setting.
Yeah, I think mine was 2, 1, 3. Probably my favorites. I really like the second book.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid to start Kings of Paradise because I've heard that like the font is so small that it's a 600-page book, but it's actually more like in a normal font it would be 1,000. So I didn't calculate a 1,000-page book for this month, but I'm going to try.
I will say that it doesn't feel like a 600-page book.
Mm-hmm.
It just reads really. It's an easy. I don't want to say it like Nosferatu. It's 750 pages, but it didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like that long of a book. And Kings of Paradise just flows really well, so it doesn't feel like it's very rough. Yeah, exactly. Like Ashley mentioned.
Okay, so that definitely helps.
I think there's an audiobook for it too. Yeah, there is an audiobook.
Wait, who told me that? I think it's Stacy who said that that it's an audiobook. I don't have it in my subscription, but I might be able to find it somewhere else. That's always very impressive when it's somebody who's so young and then can write something like that. Yeah. I can definitely see why people pick up the first one and then think that it's YA from the beginning, but it turns dark pretty quickly, and I think that that's almost also a positive because you see what war does. In the beginning, they're just children, and it is very YA, and then after a while, you see that they really changed.
I wasn't a big fan of the tone change in the first book after I read it, but once I got into book 2 and 3, I understood why she made that choice. Mm-hmm. Because you see the evolution of those characters and you see where they came from and the bonds they make in the first book. So I thought that was pretty powerful, even though I wasn't a fan until I got into the second and third ones. But and it's tough in a series like that because you have to remember that it's not one book, it's a series. So you have to not be too quick to dislike something they did because it might make sense later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it goes the other way around as well, because for instance Malice, I quite enjoyed it, and I think if it was the one book and it wasn't really an overkill of things that I just don't enjoy, it would have been fine. But it's just that it's 4 books and they are pretty thick, that it's overkill for me. And I can see that it's just not my type of book, but at the other hand I also think that with what it is, it has some weaknesses that even if you like that, you would say like, yeah, that's negative.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see a difference. I think Epic, and I think you mentioned it in our discussion, that you can see John Gwynn, his writing really improve over the course of the few books. But like you said, it just not for me. That's why I appreciate books like this, like Beyond Redemption and Mirrors, because it's just so bonkers. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah, he really took a risk with this, and I liked it because I think in our last discussion with him, he said I just pick a topic and then I really enlarge it and make it almost ridiculous. Like, how big can I make this thing? But it's really interesting, and I'm actually wondering what this other series is about, because I think that it takes place in a different world as the Manifest Delusions one. But I've heard a lot of great things about those as well.
Yeah, I want to start those here soon. Hopefully, maybe
Same.
end of the year. Yeah.
So I want to see what part of our world that he took there and then enlarged as well, because he said that he does that for each series. So if it's as unique as this one, because for this one, even though you have the premise of what all the parties are going to try to do, I have no idea what's going to happen next. And that's what I can really appreciate.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this. It's very bleak, but when you Beyond Redemption and this book, as soon as I started this one, it's almost like you crawl into this world. It's so vivid that you feel like you have that feeling while you read, that it's really this dark and dreary and insane world, which is it's just so cool. I just appreciate the fact that it's just so different.
Yeah, same. And I can also see why it's like a step up from First Law, for example, where yes, it's grim dark, but the characters are still, the humor is more present, but also the world is not as bleak as this one.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see why it's a step up, and it might not be for everyone, but I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. And Epic, we are having the meetup in 2 weeks for Mirror's Truth. So I think you said you were going to try and make that, but Beyond Redemption is only like 350 pages, something like that.
Yeah,
so
I think that's doable. It's it's 450, I think.
Oh, 450.
But it reads pretty quickly, so it's doable. And I think that Epic will like it.
Oh yeah, I think he'll really love it. I know he's been busy with his videos and his other reading stuff, but I hope he can make it. And you'll be hosting that one, right? The discussion?
I hope that I'm a little bit less starstruck as with the first one. Yeah. I always find it difficult to talk to people. It's actually their work. So maybe like if I have a negative, I'm always afraid to say it. Like I need to focus on the positive. So I was really happy that I liked Beyond Redemption, because otherwise I wouldn't have joined the chat. but still, it was difficult.
Yeah, I think most authors, if you present it in a constructive way, I think they respond pretty well to it. And the fact that we're reading it and we're making videos on it and we're discussing it brings attention to the book. So it's not like it was awful. It just, there's things you don't, I think in most books there's something you don't like or you felt could be improved. So I think they're probably used to it. There's only a few books that I can say where I wouldn't change anything about it. So it's pretty rare.
Yeah, that's true. I think that they know that can happen. And if you really dislike a book, then of course you're not going to invite the author. You're just going to stay quiet about it. Yeah. So they know that we liked it.
Yeah. House of Leaves. Speaking of books that are unconventional, are you reading that with us, Yolene, in October?
I'm going to try, because as you know, I am on a book buying ban. So I'm going to try and see, maybe if I just buy the books that I'm actually going to read immediately, I can make a caveat in my house rule. So, but I've heard amazing things about that one as well, because you need to read it very strangely. Like you sometimes have letters like distributed on the pages a little bit differently. So it sounds like a very unique book that I'd like to give a try at least.
Yeah. I hear really great things about it, that it's very scary.
Ooh, okay. That's high praise.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we're having that discussion on Halloween Day. I thought that would be fitting.
That would be nice. I think that October is also the best time to read it because it is a little bit scary, right?
Yeah, I hear it's pretty spooky.
You know, I really need to do it because my Amazon wishlist is also just a list of books that so that I can remember what I want to read. I try to use Goodreads for that, but at this point, Goodreads has books from over 10 years ago on the list. So it's a little bit difficult to find the ones that I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, and Goodreads, if you put a book on your want list or your to buy list, and then you put the book on your read list, does it take it off?
I think it does, but the annoying thing is, I don't really use Goodreads that often. But oh my god, he has the entire couch, and he still wants to sit behind me. But the annoying thing is, I had a couple of books that I DNF'd, so it was in my reading list, and then when I DNF'd it, it went back to my want to read list, and I don't know if I can easily remove it from that. Probably, but that was annoying because then I still had it there while I DNF'd it.
Yeah, Amy, in October we're reading. It's our book of the month for October. And we're reading, we're doing a meetup for it on Halloween Day. I thought that would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
of course, you're welcome.
To reread, that definitely sounds like something very fun.
I think Ashley is hosting sprints for that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Nice. If it's on the calendar, I make sure to RSVP.
Yeah. If I remember, Ashley, if you hear a few... I think that's what it was. I think he wanted to host a reading sprint for that one. And sometimes the psychological horror is more than just a traditional horror. Mm-hmm. More effective.
Yeah, I haven't read a lot of horror, but I think that October might be the ideal month to just pick one up and see if it's something for me. I think at this point I might have read one in my entire life, but I did enjoy that one, so...
Ashley, I think you're hosting the reading sprints for House of Leaves, right? I think that's what we talked about. I can look it up, but I think for House of Leaves you were going to host the reading sprint, the kickoff in October.
So what are you going to do with your Faithful and the Fallen covers? Because I think that Brandy said that you had multiple editions.
Well, I was so confident that I was going to love the series that I bought this set for me back here. And then Brandy wanted to read it too. Excuse me. And so I bought her a set, and then my son wanted to read it, so I bought him a set. And I think my daughter has a set too, but it just didn't work out. So we're going to do some trade-ins, I think, and go to these bookstore and do some unhauls.
Mm-hmm. And nobody likes it, or your son and daughter do?
Well, they were kind of waiting for me to see how I enjoyed it, and when they saw my reaction, it kind of like, and then Brandy DNF'd it halfway through Malice, so they kind of just lost interest. And my son was reading The Witcher; he was trying to finish The Witcher. I think my daughter's reading Harry Potter. She's reading Harry Potter now, so everybody just kind of lost interest. And I have all these Faithful and the Fallen books everywhere now, so. Gonna unhaul them.
Yeah, maybe a couple of copies too much.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and get some older. I really like the look of the older horror books, like the Stephen King type books. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take these to the bookstore and get some store credit, and that'll be my excuse to buy new books.
Yeah, I know the drill. But yeah. It's always exciting when you get some money from books that you're not going to read anyway, and somebody else can be very happy with them.
Yeah, someone else can enjoy them. It doesn't make sense for me to keep them on my shelf and just be reminded how disappointed I was every day. So someone else will enjoy it. And it's a popular series, so it's just not for me.
Yeah. It's a shame that all of us didn't like it. It's like...
Yeah. I feel bad. I feel I was trying to not be too negative because I didn't want to ruin your experience. So I didn't want to to bring down your enjoyment. So I was trying to be really careful about criticizing it because I didn't want you to feel like you had to agree, you know, because like you mentioned in our meetup, when everyone is positive or negative, it kind of affects you. So
yeah, it's definitely like traditional horror. I like the traditional fantasy books, but the traditional horror books also have that feeling to it, and you don't have that with newer. I feel like the covers are often very minimalistic, while I like it when you have a scene that's being displayed or something like that.
especially like the King books, because they're the older covers or they seem like they're more iconic, and all the newer books. I was gonna pick up the stand, and all the versions I found at the new bookstore were they had all the movie stickers and everything all over it. It just kind of a bummer. So I was gonna try and find the older copies of it, and even like the older version, like the stand. There's some good covers, and there was some other ones. There's a couple other books that I wanted to get from him that have those iconic covers that just look cool, kind of neat.
Have
And
you
they
read
are
a lot
new.
of them yet, or?
No, no. I am reading If It Bleeds next month, so that'll be one of the that'll be that. I'm reading that short story collection. There's only 4, but they're kind of big, so I was going to read that. And then if anyone wanted to read it with me, I thought maybe we can have a meetup on the last day, and spread that over through the month. But I'm not sure if my schedule is going to change yet, so I'm kind of waiting to get a phone call. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday I'll find out.
Yeah. And if it's okay, you're going to take it, because I thought that you were still a little bit going back and forth.
Yeah, I'm still going back and forth. I think I'll probably end up taking it. I was just talking because my schedule will change to Monday through Friday, 7 to 3 kind of thing, and I won't have to work nights anymore, and it'll just be. And if we relocate, it'll be easier for me to relocate too if I take this one. So it's leaning more towards accepting it if I'm offered the position. So, but we'll see. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, that's true. But it would be nice if it's something that you want to do.
Yeah, it's it was kind of my goal when I got there because I knew he was going to retire. It's the assistant superintendent job, and I knew he was going to retire in a few years. So that was kind of my goal, is to move up and take that position when it was available. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be a little disappointed if I don't get it, but
yeah, I can understand that. But you will know at Tuesday. So
I hope to know Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, hopefully. So once I know that, then I can set my schedule for next month. So we'll see how it goes.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see. I kind of got the feeling that strange feeling. I don't want to be too confident, but I got vibes on Friday, so that it was looking positive. But who knows?
Well, it's at least a good sign. If you leave that room and you think it went badly, well.
Yeah, I think it went okay. It wasn't perfect, but it went okay. I thought it was probably a 80% positive. There's a couple of things I missed on just because I had another thing that hurt me is it was in the morning, and my mornings are my bedtime, usually because I sleep during the day. So I wasn't all there.
But that's something that they know, I suppose. Because it's still at the same job. It's just a different time schedule.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm just anxious to find out.
I just saw that I changed my name into pink background, but yours is also pink now.
Yeah, I can dig it. I was wondering because Brandy was using my StreamYard yesterday, so I thought she changed my name to pink, and I thought, it's yours. I was like, oh, that's cool.
So, do you want to do another sprint?
Sure, whenever you're ready.
I tried to put it in a different tab and see if that works better. So.
Oh, you can also go full screen with it.
Oh, okay. And how?
Yeah, I think if if you use which browser are you using? I think there's instructions on the on that screen. Yeah.
I just didn't read it.
Yeah, me either. I didn't see it either until after.
So I think it's this one. Yes. So okay, and then full screen is F11. No. 4 hours.
Is that Firefox?
Yes.
Go to the top right-hand corner, those bars on the top, those 3 bars, all the way to the right.
Here?
You're on the right.
This one?
One more over. To the right. There you go. Click that. And
Yeah,
then
it's in Dutch.
Oh. And then there'll
That
be
doesn't help.
it'll say, let me see.
Aha, I think it's this.
There you go.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
So, I'll start. So, how far did you get this time?
I got to page 31. I had to read a couple things over again, just because there's a lot going on. I especially like the Mirrorist. I don't want to give too much away, but the Mirrorist. I won't say too much without spoiling anything, but that's really interesting. But I had to read a couple of the parts over again.
Yeah, same. I find that the most difficult to understand, like going back and forth the entire time, but it's also one of the most unique things I think that we've seen, at least from the small part that we've read so far. I also like the next chapter that you're going to be in, because I'm now at page 42, but I think that the next chapter is page 35. So who we meet again there, I like that we're seeing all of the characters from the first book again, because the first book ended also very unique where they were at that point in time. So I liked how that continued with the second one. But
Yeah.
it's very difficult to talk about it without spoiling it. But it definitely started very interesting.
Yeah. It seems like it's expanding a little bit. I like the different delusions are so neat. I don't know. I just love this world. Really interesting.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know how much time he took between the first and the second one, because I think that he wrote those pretty quickly, one after another. But I feel like he already improved, because with the first one it was a little bit difficult to understand what each of the delusions were exactly. But I feel like in this one he explains it. While he mentioned it, he quickly explains what it means. And that's what I was sometimes missing in the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. So that's almost 30 pages during the sprint, Brandy. Making progress.
Not bad.
But I think, so the 22nd, so we still have time.
Yeah.
And I think that's, so tomorrow we have Tower Lord, and then, well, you probably have a lot of discussions in between. But I think for me, this might be the next one.
I think, yeah, tomorrow we have Tower Lord, and then River of Thieves next Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then I have Crossroads with Laurel Hightower and Lady Jane Books at 4 p.m. That's on her channel. And then after that, the next one will be Mirror's Truth. So you have to.
Okay, for me, that's the next one.
Yeah, thankfully there's short books, so.
Oh, so it's doable.
Yeah.
And then we also have the movie of the month the same day.
Yeah.
Have you already watched it?
No, I think we're gonna watch that tonight. Or I'm sorry, not tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's right. You're reading that in the unconventional, so that's hard to keep track. That must be a nightmare for Goodreads to see what page you're on.
Yeah, if you really want to track your progress, that's not the easiest book, I suppose.
Yeah, that's funny. Then we have the Just Because stream in a few hours.
Yeah, it's in 2 hours, I guess.
Yeah, are you gonna be okay for that? You gonna?
Yeah, it's the weekend, so I tried to sleep in a little bit, even though it wasn't really possible, because we were going to take my nephews to the playground in the morning. And, well, it's like a 1.5-year-old and a 5-year-old, 2 boys. And it made me realize that I'm not ready for children, because it was really a lot of work to keep track of both of them. Both of them fell on their head. So it's, yeah, not the best thing. Yeah, you had some stuff to do. But still, you read. That's what we're trying to do here. 5 pages is better than none. Is Aubrey going to a sleepover with your mother-in-law? I think for the Just Because stream, Andrew is also trying to join. But he had a party tonight, so it might be that he's a little bit later. But he was going to try to join whenever he was ready. Yeah, it seems like his second child is... It's more than 1 + 1. It's like 1 + 1 and then a lot of interaction between the two as well.
And sometimes when they get older, they keep each other busy too. So
yeah, my sister is always telling that I can't just take the eldest, because then she's alone with the younger one, and she needs the eldest to also entertain him a little bit.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh, that's nice to have a little bit of your time. But still, I guess that you miss them as well. But I'm way too careful, I suppose. And then my husband is throwing them in the air and he doesn't care. And I need to look away. I'm so scared. And then one of them fell and he was quite okay. Well, it was on his head, so it was bleeding just a little bit. But I was freaking out. I was saying, like, we need to go to the hospital and take an MRI, because if it's an internal bleeding, then something is going to happen. And he was like, it's a minor scratch. It's going to be fine. So in the end, it was fine. After like 5 minutes of crying,
it was okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Stacy.
Hi. How is the trip going? Are you already in the car? I suppose, because here it's 10 p.m., but I think it's the afternoon.
It's let's see, 3 o'clock our time, I think.
Yeah, it's a 13-hour trip that she's going to make, so I suppose that she's already in the car.
Oh wow.
That's always so... I can imagine that, because if we drive for 2 hours, we're at the end of our country. So like driving for 13 hours, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, 2 years ago we drove to New York, and then I think it took us 2 days to get there, 2.5 to get there, and 2 days back.
Crazy.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but it was a fun experience because we got to stop at a few different places and see some things. We had some fun on the way. We had some Mad Libs, so the kids got a kick out of that. We had some fun.
Yeah, it's probably a lot to pack as well. But yeah, if you do some sightseeing along the way, I guess that even the trip can be a lot of fun, not just the destination.
Yeah, it was neat to see some different places and to eat some cool, eat some neat restaurants. And we stopped in St. Louis, and where else did we stop? Indianapolis. So we saw a few different cities on the way. So the kids I thought they would be restless, but they had fun. So
they are also already a little bit older, I think.
Yeah, my son is 16 and my daughter's about 13.
Okay, so yeah. It's the age that they can understand that it takes longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was their first long trip, so we were nervous, but
yeah,
we tried to keep them busy. Some funny Mad Libs helped out a lot.
And what did you do with the dogs? Somebody took care of them, or?
My nephew's girlfriend house sat for us, and she would send videos of the dogs, and so she took care of them, kept them company. I'm a little worried about our newer dogs, Jack and our husky Rubio, because they're really attached to us. So when we leave again, they're gonna freak out.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh, it'll be fun. Ooh, you're driving through Arkansas.
I have no idea what that looks like. I need to... It's like I know it from name, but how does it look? I am picturing snow, which is probably not correct.
No. It's like the middle of the country. Yes, it's one of the places we're thinking about moving to.
I have a map. Okay. This helps. I thought that this was close to Canada. Completely wrong. It does look really nice. Oh, some sightseeing to do. Yeah, we're just not used to it here. Oh. It's again the...
Did we lose you?
Yeah, well, I'm still here, but the camera died.
Oh, there you go.
I'm back. It's actually not that bad for webcam. I still need to buy that power thing that you sent.
Yeah, I have one hooked up now to mine. But yeah, it works pretty good. Because before I had the same problem, the batteries were dying and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, okay, it's August. Canada for me, it's just like 5 meters of snow in my head. Yeah, I saw some pictures on Google, and it does look very pretty. Someday I need to visit the US.
Yeah, let us know when you're coming. We'll make room for you.
Yeah, make sure that I'm not at the entire wrong place in the country.
Yeah.
But did you travel a lot before children or after?
Yeah. For about 10 years, I traveled a lot of business travel, so I traveled a lot. It was all in the country, but I was gone almost every other week, give or take.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so I would sometimes get a phone call and say, "We need you in Portland tomorrow. Get your flights and your hotel and everything." And I would just make calls and pack and be on the way.
That must be very difficult, especially when you have a family.
Yeah, I got old after a while. I kind of got burned out. And I used to go to Vegas a lot and to California a lot. Arizona, Phoenix, I would fly in a lot. So it's a lot of travel, but I don't miss it too much.
Yeah, no, I can see that. It's one of the things that I could do after I finally get my degree someday, but I don't think that I'm up for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tennessee, we went to Tennessee a lot, Knoxville, and to Baltimore. I flew there a lot. Had some clients there I took care of. So yeah, it had its moments, but it was enough.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
But you talked about that, I think, with the 25 questions about MeTag, that you switched careers after a while, and you're happier now. So that's what matters.
It's nice being home.
Yeah, I did it for a very short while, but not as much as you, just after my master's. But I was communications rep, which is something that I don't understand that they ever just selected me for that job, but I hated it.
Really?
Especially the traveling. I didn't like it, and having to sell things and be very open and talking to everybody immediately, hated it.
Sales is tough, yeah. Especially when you're just walking in somewhere and you don't have a rapport, and it just takes a little bit. You have to have a certain way of thinking.
Hi.
Hey Joshua, how's it going? Looking forward to tomorrow's discussion.
Is it the one about horror or?
Yeah, the horror author discussion. That's gonna be fun. I'm a little nervous, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that, but it seems that you have a couple of people attending, so that's nice.
Yeah, everyone I've asked has said yes, so I was surprised. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's the type of things that I had to do as well. Luckily, not that often, but yeah, beginning in the morning really early, just flying back and forth. If you can do some sightseeing in between, it's nice. But I would prefer doing that with family instead of sitting there alone.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'd feel guilty going places and be by myself. Oh yeah.
Oh.
I have pictures of the monkey in different places, in hotels, and even some of the clients that I would talk to. I would tell them I have this monkey, and they would take pictures with it and stuff. It was fun.
Oh, that's nice. It's always fun making memories like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I have help, and we do have an outline, and we're prepared, so it's not. I'm not too nervous, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, by the way, I didn't include the link to the form in my description, but I will afterwards. So if anybody is wondering about all the dates that we're talking about, they're all really neatly organized in a calendar. So if you want to join or just watch, you can find it there. Also for the Just Because stream in 2 hours, everybody is welcome to join. We don't really have a set schedule. I didn't prepare anything, so.
Yeah. No, it was a stuffed monkey. It was like a stuffed animal. It wasn't a real, it wasn't a real monkey.
Would be nice.
It would be fun though, but.
So do you have anything to do between this and Just Because stream?
No, I don't think so. Probably just maybe get some lunch and I'll be back.
It's lunchtime for you.
Yeah. Well, do you have any plans for the break?
I'm going to make some progress in Tower Lord. I want to. I will try to read 100 more pages, but I don't know if that's feasible. I'll give it a try. And then tomorrow, 200 more. That should be doable as well. I was going to film some videos tomorrow for the channel, but I don't think that I'll have time. And then my husband was like, well, we need a new bed. Maybe we can go to IKEA. No, I don't have time.
Yeah, I have to read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a tight schedule.
It's funny, huh?
Yeah, but it's especially this month is crazy. I feel like September and the upcoming months is going to be a little bit easier to manage. For me then. For you, it's one video a day.
Yeah, I need to get all that done. This month's going to be kind of crazy, but next month things will calm down a lot. I only have Iconoclast starts next month. Are you going to read that with us?
I'm going to see if I can manage it. If I will, it will be an ebook, so I can really easily pick it up. I don't really have to buy it in advance. So if I can manage it, I will. And I think that it might be possible because I have Kings of Ash. I think that is the second one. And then I think Sword of Kaigen is one that we're also reading in September.
That's right.
So I think I only have those two for next month. Oh, and then 2 more. So 4 buddy reads. So maybe the fifth one is possible.
Cool.
Oh, that's with Epic. That's nice.
Epic's going to be there. And the author, Mike Schell, he said he wants to come to those, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's always fun. Did you have any progress with Anthony Ryan? Because I thought that you contacted him as well.
Yeah, we're planning for the 30th to meet up. So, yeah. So yeah, we're set for the 30th. But if my schedule changes, I'm gonna have to reschedule with him. But yeah, I was surprised that he agreed. So.
Yeah, that's really nice, especially because we really like him as an author. Just the way that he writes sentences, I enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, cool! Your husband's reading Sword of Kaigen. How do you pronounce? Is it Kagan or Kaigen? I feel like I mispronounce it.
I switch between the two the whole time because I have no idea. Epic is interested.
I'll be having a conversation with Anthony Ryan on the 30th. It won't be live, but the video will be out probably the day after. If it happens, it depends on my schedule. So I'll find out here in the next couple of days.
And you have the topic right with where we can ask questions?
Yeah. There's a forum thread you can submit questions.
I still need to think of some.
Yeah, this time. I haven't started writing my questions out yet, but I kind of wanted to get past this thing tomorrow, and then I'll try and do one at a time. Otherwise, I'll get my wires crossed.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably want something to eat, and I'll try to completely recharge this battery. Within 2 hours, it should be possible. I have no idea how quickly that goes, but we'll give it a try.
Your webcam looks okay if you have to use it.
Yeah, it's like in worst case scenario, it's fine, I suppose.
Yeah, not bad
It's
at all.
just, if you have the camera, you best use it, but it's fine like this as well.
Yeah.
With all the lights, it probably helps.
Yeah. Yeah, so if anyone wants to join us, I don't think it's a full house yet for
No.
to join us on stream. So I think Epic was on our last one. If you want to join us, Epic, it's in a couple hours.
Yeah, it's in 2 hours, and I think that at this point 4 people are going to join. Well, the 2 of us and then 2 more. So there's still room. And we're not really talking about anything specific, so anybody who you can basically join. It's not just going to be about books.
Yeah. And it's funny that because I always get the audio and I upload it to the podcast, and they're some of the most downloaded episodes. It's just
It's funny, but it's just nice. It's like at the end of the, I think, ruin discussion, we also just started talking about whatever, and it's just nice to do that once in a while. It doesn't always have to be about books.
Yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of at the end of our discussion. Would just be just talking.
It's going to be Steve, me, and then Ashley is going to join, maybe with her husband, if he's willing. And then Andrew, from Andrew's Wizardly Reads, is going to join, but he might be a little bit later.
Yeah.
So if you want to join, the link is on the forum. Or you can DM me on the Discord.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but I completely understand. You can always rewatch if you're interested. Yeah. It's already pretty late where you are as well, Amy, right? I think you're 1 hour later or earlier, one of the two.
Cool. Well, guess we'll meet back up in a couple hours.
Yeah. See everybody who is willing to join, and otherwise, have a nice evening.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.